We have a very simple mission. We're trying to help other entrepreneurs both go faster. We love what entrepreneurship does for a country. It's where jobs are created. It's where opportunity is realized. And we want to do what we can to help continue to make UK the very best country in the world for startup companies.
Richard Reed, co-founder of Innocent Drinks and now Jam Jar Investments. So Richard shares how three friends with no exit strategy built one of the UK's most loved brands, sold it to Coca-Cola for over $500 million, and then turned their energy into backing the next generation of entrepreneurs.
We had no exit plan. In fact, we didn't even know the phrase exit strategy, which is what people talk about in investment world. We were three guys that wanted to set up a smoothie business. We had a hope that it would be successful, but we had an assumption that it wouldn't. But we got started anyway, and we sold into our local shop. And I think, to be honest, no one was more surprised than we were, really.
Welcome to this special bite-sized episode of Screw It, Just Do It from our back catalogue of over 550 past episodes. If you like what you hear, don't forget to follow the show and grab your free 2-day pass to the Festival of Entrepreneurs this October. Just head to festivalentrepreneurs.co.uk to claim yours, and don't forget to dive into the back catalogue. Now open for this year's Festival of Entrepreneurs. Join us at the NEC in Birmingham on October the 8th and 9th for 2 game-changing days with 200 plus speakers and thousands of ambitious founders. Get your free limited 2-day pass at festivalentrepreneurs.co.uk or click my personal link in the show notes. Yourself and co-founders Adam and John sold Innocent Drinks brand to Coca-Cola back in 2013, some 15 years since you launched. When you initially set up, did you always envisage selling, or was the offer just too good to turn down at the time?
We had no exit plan. In fact, we didn't even know the phrase exit strategy, which is what people talk about in investment world. We were three guys that wanted to set up a smoothie business, and we had a hope that it would be successful, but we had an assumption that it wouldn't. But we got started anyway, and we sold into our local shop, and then expanded slightly more throughout West London, and then all of London, and then England, and then the United Kingdom, and it just grew and grew and grew. I think, to be honest, no one was more surprised than we were, really. Combination being the right product and was getting our timing right meant that it became much bigger, much quicker than we ever would have thought. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but there wasn't some great master plan.
No.
Coca-Cola had been trying to invest in the business from the second year of the business.
Really? Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. They call us. They literally call us every single year.
Wow, because I know, speak to some people and they're literally setting up a business with the sole aim of building a brand and selling it in 5-10 years, whatever that might be.
Yeah. Well, I think it's whatever. Everyone's got their own motivations and got their own approaches. We were totally led by a sense of friendship, a sense of wanting to create a business that we could be proud of, both in a sense that it would be commercially successful, of course, but also that it would be ethical and also be a vehicle through which we could ride through life on, having fun and enjoying each other's company. We'd done many entrepreneurial things together at university and got a sense of how much we enjoyed working together. We just figured our quality of life would be greater if we build a career working together rather than sort of go and work in different companies. It really was a business that was born out of friendship rather than born out of a way to deliver an investor return or what have you.
And that's continued with Jam Jar, and that all three of you set that up together, as well as 2 other people, I believe. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, we left Innocent on the Friday and we opened Jam Jar on the Monday. The weekend.
Wow.
And my desk is literally in between Adam and John's, to the point where if I push back on my chair, when John pushes back on his chair, we bump into each other. So I'm as physically close to these two guys as it's possible to be in a professional environment. And the Jam Jar, we're just a merry band of 7 now. And we have a very simple mission. We're trying to help other entrepreneurs both go faster. We love what entrepreneurship does for a country. It's where jobs are created. It's where opportunity is realized. And we want to do what we can to help continue to make UK the very best country in the world to start up companies.
Mm. And did you think when you did exit that you'd achieved most of what you set out to achieve with Innocent?
We got it to the level where it would benefit from having new leadership. We'd run it for 15 years. We'd gone from 3 guys with the market stall to a business that was the biggest brand in juice in the whole of Western Europe. The goal, for instance, become the Earth's favorite healthy drinks company. And we're currently Europe's favorite healthy drinks company. So there's still a really big step to take. And we figured, you know what? We think it's like it's like 24 hours at Le Mans. You swap drivers to be able to keep the sort of the pace up, stepping down and letting some new talent take it on. And I have to say, since that's happened, the business has really flourished.
If you're enjoying this conversation and thinking, I need to be around more people like this, then I've got the perfect solution for you. The Festival of Entrepreneurs is where 5,000 to 10,000 ambitious entrepreneurs come together to learn from the people who've actually done it. It's on October the 8th and 9th at the NEC in Birmingham, and I'm giving my listeners free 2-day passes. Real entrepreneurs, real stories, real strategies. Exactly like what you're hearing right now, but live and in person. Go to festivalofentrepreneurs.co.uk and get your free 2-day pass before they're gone.
3 years on, Innocent is more culturally vibrant, more donating more money to charity than ever before, making better products, nicer packaging. The culture and the vibe of the business is stronger than it's ever been. And that's a real testament to the success of the leadership team that are running it, but also the quality of the people that are in the business from top to bottom. And it's a huge source of pride, actually, when we get back. We still sit on the board as advisors, and you can just sense the vibe is still alive. They coined a phrase, but they called it dudeism. Because we always called the logo the dude. That was our name for the little display. And so there's this whole cultural dudeism, which is about doing the right thing and doing it well and doing it, bringing people along and collaborating and sharing, but still being, still working your socks off, but having a sense of joy to it all as well, and enjoying the people you work with and caring about the products and the fact that they're natural and they're ethically sourced and taking pride in the charitable side. And it all just wraps up into it's a very strongly positive, altruistic, ambitious culture. So it's a really exciting place to be.
And do you foresee yourself always having a role there, keeping an interest there? I recently spoke to a lady called Barbara Cox who sold NutriChef, and she spoke at one of our Virgin Startup events, and she's literally crying, saying that when it happened, when she sold the company, she felt like she'd lost one of her children. And some people really struggle to understand where she was coming from emotionally, but I think, again, every situation is different, and I wondered how you felt at the time.
I felt fantastic, actually. Felt deeply grateful. The whole thing feels like a bit of a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Because what's not to like? We set up the business as 3 friends. 15 years later, we exited a closer friend we've ever been, and then it ended how it started. The 3 of us went down the pub and had a drink, and we just talked about how great it had been, and then got on with the next thing. So yeah, I don't miss it. I would miss it, but I don't miss it because I'm doing something that's different but equally engaging, but in a different way. In my life philosophy has always been do what you love with people that you love, and I continue to be doing that.
Yeah.
But it's a tremendous source of pride and satisfaction and great memories, and we're here to serve our innocence pleasure. To the extent that we can be helpful and useful, we're going to be involved. To the point where if we ever start being annoying or irrelevant, then we'll fully move on. But at the end of the day, we're no longer the chief execs, but forever you're always the founders. And the founders can still just have a small role to play. Mainly, we're sort of wheeled out whenever there's a big bit of good news or to go and see some of the key customers, that kind of thing. But
yeah,
it's like we found a patch of grass and we built upon it a house and lived in that house and that 15 years. But then we sold that house. It's someone else's house now. And we still go past that house and we look at the house, great fondness and memory and pride. And occasionally we're invited into the house for a cup of tea and a chat. But it's someone else's house now. So what I'm really excited by, we made sure that we were really conscious of this time. It was never a founder-led business. It was a mission-led business. It was a business that lived and existed to serve the mission and principles of Innocent, which was for get as many healthy and delicious and ethical natural drinks into as many people and places as possible. Make it easy for people to do themselves some good.
Yeah.
That was the mission then, it's the mission now, it'll be the mission in the future.
That conversation just proves something. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So here's my challenge. Upgrade your network. The Festival of Entrepreneurs is happening October the 8th and 9th, and I'm giving my listeners free 2-day passes to get in the room with 5,000 to 10,000 entrepreneurs who are actually building something. This is where the risk takers, the game changers, and the people who've decided to screw it and just do it come for inspiration, education, and connection. Don't just listen to their success stories, go meet the people living them. Grab your free pass now, because the biggest risk isn't taking a chance, it's missing the opportunity entirely. So, some brilliant lessons there from Richard Reed. Again, this was a conversation I had pretty early on in this podcast, and I'd love to revisit the conversation with Richard after so many years now at Jam Jar Investments, investing in some super exciting businesses. So here are some of the takeaways that I'd love you to remember from this episode. So there was no master plan. Innocent was born out of friendship. It was born out of passion. It was not born out of an exit strategy. Mission-led beats founder-led. So their culture of dudism, it still drives Innocent today, right? Success. So recipe being a third right decisions, a third timing and luck, and a third blood, sweat, and tears. You need all 3. For investors, preparation matters. Jam Jar backs founders who've done the work, not just written the words. If you enjoyed this bite-sized conversation, go check out the full episode with Richard Reed on Screw It, Just Do It. Don't forget to follow the show so you don't miss more wisdom like this.